Alright, another quick little video with the Super project. Just trying to find a good way of showing this, and I think I'm just going to do this. The top 100 highest iRatings. That is going to be this middle line. I will just go ahead and hide this here. And we'll hide this as well. So, Justin Haley, number 100. Again, iRating inflation as Bush Series in the 90s stats start adding up, and Truck Series in the late 90s stats start adding up. There's a bigger pool for everything, and that creates these higher iRatings for mid-level drivers. Steve Park at a 3,966. Steve Carlson, I don't even know who that is, so someone will have to tell me. Todd Bodine, 3978. Danica Patrick, a 3983. Bobby Gill, 3990. Noah Gregson, first person in the 4000s on this list, so that shows you how many 4000s there are. Johnny Benson, 4014. Austin Hill, Joe Nemechek, Lee Petty. Now, again, just so that you understand this, iRating doesn't mean better or best. It's all just like stats based on the era that you're in, and Lee Petty's era, a lot less iRating in the pool for mid-level drivers to go down and take iRating from other people just because the stats aren't there for the lower level series. Benny Parsons, 4,042. Bobby Isaac, 4,059. Ned Jarrett, 4,083. Brian Scott, 4,088. Buck Baker. Mike Stefanik at a 4110. Reed Sorensen, a 4139. Cole Custer, 4144. Kind of surprised his isn't higher than that. Ward Burton, 4231. Jack Sprague, 4234. Bonsignor, 4254. Jason Keller, 4257. Ted Musgrave, still in the 42s. Harry Gant, a 42, and you can see compared to people in his era, he's pretty high for that. Johnny Sauter, 4274. Dennis Setzer, 4280. Justin Allgaier, 4293. I actually thought he would be a lot higher than that, only 73rd. Jeremy Mayfield. Now that's a surprising one because he was in an era, the modern era is much more inflated than his era, but his was starting to get inflated at that time. Michael McDowell at 4313, the highest iRating he's ever achieved. David Pearson, 4328. Really, really impressive because he is from that old era. Same with Bobby Allison, 4336. Chase Briscoe, 4378. Bill Elliott at 4382. Michael Waltrip gets into the 44s. Matt Crafton, I'm guessing a whole lot of truck races with that one. Trevor Bain with a 4455. Jeff Green, a 4500, and this one, it's going to be interesting when we go the other direction. Ron Hornaday Jr., 4528. Ty Dillon, a 4562. That should tell you how much modern stats are inflated with this iRating, just because of that pool. David Reagan, middling his way up into the 4572s. DeBendetto, 4578. Sterling Marlin, 4621. Cindric, 4622. Ty Gibbs, just above him. Casey Mears. Sam Hornish Jr. That one, again, surprising to me. Because you mostly remember his vicious wrecks that he had in stock cars. So, for him to get to a 47, that is actually impressive. Stenhouse Jr., only a 4721. That is probably because of Recce. Rudiment, 4731. Ricky Rudd, number 50, because I have a label at the top there, so I've been saying these all wrong on the rankings. Bubba Wallace, he is currently the 14th ranked driver in current NASCAR. So his consistent top 15s has just helped his iRating grow and grow. Darrell Waltrip, 4765. Suarez with a 4773. Regan Smith into the 48s. Cale Yarbrough, just crazy that he's up at a 48 with his era. Rusty Wallace, just above him. Juan Pablo Montoya. That one really surprised me because he has a very short, limited career, and you think of him as a road course ringer, but the road courses weren't a major factor in his iRating skyrocketing. So it went up everywhere he raced. He was good enough to Matt Kenseth his way to a good iRating with his top 10s, top 15s. Brian Vickers at a 49. I think he's only got 2 wins, but again, he just consistently middle. Allmendinger with a 49. He's a little bit lower now. He kind of had a dip in his career and then back up when he went to Xfinity. Chastain, 49.43. Ambrose, 49.75. Again, one of those kind of just top 15s and then win at road courses. Richard Petty with the 5,000, and as I showed in the first video, highest number from the early years of NASCAR up to the 80s. Elliott Sadler, 50.67. Terry Labonte, 50.76. Tyler Reddick at a 50.80. Eric Jones with a 51, as well as Bowman. And then a big old jump up to Dale Earnhardt, who we saw in the last video ended his career at this high mark at a 53.03. Buescher with a 53.10. Paul Menard, 53.34. Eric Almirola, 53.64. Austin Dillon, 53.81. Very surprising him being that high. Jeff Burton with a 54.79. Christopher Bell, almost to the 55s. Dale Jarrett at a 55.46. Bobby Labonte with a 55.54. Mark Martin, the Bushwhacker, 56.59. William Byron with a 5,666. Casey Kane, 57.22. Jamie McMurray with a 58.24, and these things are starting to skyrocket as we get to the top 20. Ryan Blaney with a 59.01. Ryan Newman, 59.29. Craig Biffle, surprising with where he's at in this, over a 6,000 at a 6,093, his highest ever mark. Chase Elliott, currently the highest current driver, 61.36. Clint Boyer, 62.19. Kyle Larson had gotten up to a 62.54. That has dropped since this high mark. Tony Stewart with a 63.14. Kurt Busch, 6,400. Jeff Gordon with a 64.25. Martin Truex Jr., 65.37. Carl Edwards, 66.34. That just goes to show how good he was. Had he had a few more years, he would definitely have racked up the championships. Matt Kenseth, the iRating machine who broke NASCAR, 66.48. But Matt's problem, he didn't drop down to the Busch Series enough to do some farming. Keselowski, one of those that did drop down quite a bit at a 66.69. Dale Earnhardt Jr., 66.73, comes in number 6. At number 5, Denny Hamlin. Jimmy Johnson, number 4. Kyle Busch, number 3. And the one that really surprised me was number 2. I did not have him on my list to be the number 2 highest rated driver. Joey Logano got to a 7,044 at one point. Kevin Harvick, the top of the top, 7,255. So that is your top 100. Now let's go look at the bottom. At the bottom of the list, and we already know this one, Wayne Peterson, 24 iRating, the lowest iRating he got to. Jeff Green, I said we'd see him again. He's going the other way as he's starting parks after reaching a 45. He gets all the way down to a 58 iRating at one point. Morgan Shepherd down to 125, again, starting park. Melissa Fifield, the most modern person on here, still racing, down to 135 tour mods. Chase Miller, Johnny Chapman, St. James Davis, Chris Bailey Jr., Todd Trinken, Carl Long, but that was, equipment and everything. Starting park, getting down to 219. John Jackson, Mark Minier, Chris Jones, Greg Sievers, and I will just start clicking through these because a lot of these names I do not know. We got James Hilton, we got Brad Smith. I know that, pretty sure that is the driver for Daniel's ARCA team. Harmon, Jeff Fuller, starting park. And you'll see a lot of starting parks. Kenny Hendrick, I actually just watched a truck race that he was in. Kevin LePage, starting park club. John Wood, never even went over a 1350. Jesse, the 41st worst iRating ever achieved. Yes, he has never been higher than a 1263. He lost so much in his first race. And there you go. That is your worst 50 iRatings ever achieved. So, nice quick video. Gets all those names out there, kind of makes you understand where people are, modern era, how much it helps to be in the right time frame. It seems like now with all the retirees that iRating has dropped and dipped a little bit. But we'll get into that in the next video, as I'm going to start talking about strength of field through the series and through the years, and kind of show how that's evolved and how horrible ARCA is. So look forward to that one next week. Thanks for watching.